All right, we're here, video 2. In case you missed video 1, just the link's down below, okay? This is video 2. I just reacted. Okay, I just reacted to Flood by Tool. And, wow, let me get this here. And what a magnificent song that was. Again, another knockout song. You know, I guess it's not their true debut. I thought it was their debut, and then I realized I'd heard something about an EP, but I thought maybe it was like an independent EP that they just put out, like a cassette or something. So, I mean, was that the actual first release for Tool? Was it the EP, or was this the official first release? Anyways, I will be going back and visiting that EP for the first time, and because I haven't heard it, and I'm really anxious to hear that as well. So we're almost near the end of the album. I'm guessing this is the album proper, the end, this song. Because disgustipated by a couple of things I've seen that have given me hints that it's going to be something unusual. So I'm going to guess that they tagged it on as a kind of a bonus track. Maybe it was something experimental and there was some kind of poetry or something going on there, or word poetry or whatever they call it. Which is cool. I've been to a few of those in clubs. So let's go back to this. Let's again focus on this song. Yeah, it sounded actually a little like Metallica, which is another band I want to react to. I know Metallica obviously from the hits. I've never listened to one of their albums. And it's funny, when this album came out, I think it's 93 or so, early 90s. When I'm imagining myself, what I was like, yeah, I can totally see why. There was the last thing on earth that I would be playing was guitar like Adam was playing, or really being able to appreciate it back then. I don't know why. All guitarists were moving towards saturation, saturation, and I was moving toward purity. I actually ended up going into like acoustic guitar. I was playing nothing but fingerstyle acoustic guitar in the mid 90s. I was actually going to do an album of just acoustic guitar pieces. I'm doing lots of compositions. There you go. A very saturated sound. Too bad it took me so long to get around to really appreciating, but thank you, Adam. I mean, the song's called Flood, so we're talking like lots of water, right? And in my musings in my life, I've seen that symbolically land versus water. Land is like conscious thought, water is unconscious thought or subconscious thought. It's things go on, we don't see what's going on underwater, yet things are there, right? There's buried treasure, there's buried skeletons. There's lots of things buried. I never know what to say. We bury a lot of stuff, right? We bury our feelings. For men, the culture is that we have to bury our feelings. Thankfully, most of you appreciated that when I was watching Lateralist and I cried. The song made me cry, and there was only like 3 or 4 commenters who said, "Oh, you're a big wuss" or whatever. I feel sorry for them because obviously they have succumbed to the cultural bias that men are not allowed to show emotion. But actually, it's weaker to hide something, isn't it? I mean, you don't hide something if you're fearless. If you're fearful, you hide, you cower. If you have feelings and you bury them, that's weakness. If you have feelings and you show them and you move through them and overcome weakness says or fears or whatever, you overcome that stuff, you're stronger. So I'm sorry, guys. Anyone who thinks that crying is... I mean, of course, you can go the other way, too. You can become just a big crybaby and just cry at everything, which is... that would be weird. I suppose that would be the opposite extreme, which is no healthier. So, yeah, Flood. I don't know. I didn't look at the lyrics yet, and I barely heard what he was singing. I'll have to check him out. I was commenting, too, earlier that maybe an idea would be to actually review the lyrics, and put some real thought into my thoughts about the lyrics and make a short video and then tag it on as part 3 and then go back to all my videos and actually have it so there's actually me reacting, and then part 2 is me talking, and then part 3 could be lyrical analysis at a later date, because I think lyrical analysis takes more than your first listen. I mean, you can't just... When you hear a song for the first time, it's like, oh, your favorite band just has a new hit on the radio. Listen to it. And you hear it for the first time. You're going, oh, yeah, I like that. You have to grab on to certain things about it, and then you want to go dive in a little more. I think music and the whole overall feel of a song, you can quicker grab onto. It's something you can quickly grasp. And the lyrics too, I guess, as a bundle. But if you really want to analyze the lyrics, I think maybe I'll do something like that. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. There was lots of not question marks. Exclamation marks, like "duh," or "duh." Like this. To me, I just thought of calling it an exclamation mark in music, right? It's like a "duh," you know, like Beethoven, da 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 da. So there's like exclamation marks in music, and we use that a lot in modern music for sure. Uh, Tool employed it very well in this song, and it reminded me again. If we're talking about progressive music, Alan Parsons' projects, it made me realize he does that a lot. A lot of his albums have these, and he's back from the '70s and stuff. Check out Alan Parsons if you want to check out some classic progressive rock. I grew up on that stuff too. I loved that. When I was a kid, I got into it from my grade 3 music teacher. Got us into Alan Parsons. Believe it or not, school was good in those days. I don't know what it's like nowadays, but man, school was pretty cool sometimes in those days. So again, I'm veering all over the place. You'll have to bear with me. So yeah, I want to study the lyrics more to get a sense of it. Certainly the bass sounded amazing as well. There was just some basses are like earthquakes. I don't know if you ever, any of you live on the West Coast or felt an earthquake. I felt an earthquake 4 times now since I've been on the West Coast, and I felt one when I was in Europe once. I was on the water, and apparently when you're on the water, you hear it. You don't feel it. You just hear this big bang, and that's actually how an earthquake can sound when you're on a boat. So just a little information for you. Hey, the song's called Flood, right? Water. We're talking about water. So the bass sounded like an earthquake. It's rumbling, and it had this amazing, I don't know how to describe it. It's this round, teethy tone, you just, teethy, it just, yeah, real substance. The bass gives the song a real substance, doesn't it? So if this is in fact more or less the end of the album, and maybe the next track will be a very experimental track, just kind of a fun track, let's just quickly say I thought this album was fantastic. I've only heard it once through now, and I can't wait to go back and revisit this. And I'm very impressed at the level of quality that Tool exuded. I like big words if you haven't noticed. They exuded so much confidence and so substantial. They had a substantial vision of themselves right from the start. And that's a sign of greatness, too. I think, even though a lot of bands, their first albums are not their best, this is pretty darn good for a first album. Wow. Pretty good. These guys are awesome. So I guess that's all I have to say for now. And we'll be going on to the next track, which will be Disgustipated. And I'm half dreading going to that song because I don't know if I'll like it. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe I'll think it's really weird. I don't know. And then after this, it's time to do another album react. What am I going to react to next? I'm going to have to take a break from Tool, for sure. I just because it's you got to cleanse the palate. I don't want to just, I wouldn't sit down and watch Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all in a row. I wouldn't want to do that. Or Lord of the Rings 1, 2, 3. I'd want to spread them out a bit, over a week. Because then you kind of spoil it too, It's like it's fun to anticipate. I lived through the Star Wars saga. Okay, I went to see Star Wars when I was 9 years old. Saw it 9 times. Had to wait 3 years for The Empire Strikes Back. And then when it came to town, it turned out it was going to be like a month or so later because I lived in a smaller town and the big cities got Empire Strikes Back right away. And then I was too young to go see it, so my brother went, saw the bum. He got to see it before I did. And then we had to wait another 3 years for the Return of the Jedi. And then how many years after that? There were prequels. And then how many years you have to wait for the Disney disaster, although the first one was not too bad. So, again, I'm way off topic. If you're watching, then you're a true fan. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you all later, eh? You spiraling out. It's spiraling out. It's Dean. It's hard to say that. Bye.